We truly live in interesting times. On the one hand, there is opportunity all around us in terms of how organizations manage information. Read just about any business journal, and you'll read stories about every leader is a digital leader. Every business is ultimately a digital business. And that's true. The challenge is that most organizations look a lot different than that opportunity. We hear things from people like my file shares are out of control. Information is leaking out of the organization at every turn on devices that weren't even invented when we put my legacy systems in place in the first place. I hear IT people say things like, the business is constantly end running me. I hear CEOs say we have got to get more value out of our IT investment. We call this information chaos, and we believe that how organizations deal with information chaos is the central business challenge of this decade. Now, how did we get there? Where did this all come from? And I would argue that there's really three big disruptors that we are experiencing right now that's causing this conflict that exists within organizations against the poles of both opportunity and chaos. So, the first disruptor, and you look at what's going on out there, is the impact of consumerization on how we deploy enterprise systems, how those systems are perceived, what kinds of cycle times are involved in deploying those systems, how end users experience those systems. Consumerization is fundamentally changing the rules. The second big disruptor, and I put these two together, are both cloud and mobile. And I put them together because they're kind of the twin steroids of change in an information management era. They reinforce each other, they capitalize on each other, and essentially they change the expectation of work. And work occurs anywhere, anytime, any place, on any device, and that is causing chaos within organizations. The third big disruptor that people are dealing with is this whole changing nature of work itself. We are seeking organizations that are less hierarchical in structure, that are more agile, that are more able to respond to change. And so you put those three things together, consumerization, cloud and mobile, and changing patterns of work, and you have a very rich stew of disruption. So when we talk to people in the community about how they're dealing with that and how they're managing the difference between opportunity and chaos, what we hear are basically four clusters of business problems. And that's what AIM is all about, and that's what content management is all about, is helping people address these four business problems. The first is reducing the risk of information, and reducing the risk of misplaced information, reducing the risk of information that some people are getting to that they shouldn't be getting to, reducing the risk of invasions of privacy, reducing the risk of security breaches. So risk is the first cluster of business problems that people are dealing with. Second cluster is process transformation. And what's going on right now is all of a sudden the back end of businesses are being exposed to customers and to partners as never before. So you can put up a very nice process veneer on the front of a business process, but if the back end is a mess, it will become evident to your customers and your partners very quickly. So process transformation is the second imperative that people have to look at. The third one is engagement, and this particularly applies to both customers and to employees. So on the web and on social systems, how are you engaging your external customers? How are you bringing them into the organization? And how are you capitalizing on their insights to structure your next generation of products? Within the organization, we have finally started to move beyond the era of email and thinking somehow that collaboration is just a matter of taking an email, attaching a gigantic file to it, sending it to 15 or 20 people, and have a whole bunch of people respond with a reply all. Collaboration is central to organizations' efforts to change and central to making progress on engagement. And the last piece, this is kind of the newest piece, the most exciting piece in some ways, is insight and analytics, a whole cluster of business problems and opportunities that arise from the fact that we can all of a sudden understand what our information means in context. And in very many ways, that's what information is, ultimately, is data in context. And so that question of applying analytic tools to gain insights is a central question. So there you have it. You have both information opportunity and information chaos. You have the three disruptors: consumerization, cloud and mobile, and changing patterns of work. And you have the four big business problems that this creates. View them as business opportunities if you're a glass half full person. But they relate to risk mitigation, process transformation, customer and partner, and employee engagement. And then lastly, this question of gaining analytic insights from all this information that you're accumulating. My name is John Mancini. I'm president of AIM. Download a copy of our ebook that talks about some of these issues at aim.org/infochaos. It's free. Join us in the community. Join us in helping to transform your organization.
3, 2,